Welcome back to Daytime. It's estimated if you go to college and get a degree, you will graduate with at least $20,000 worth of debt. To ease that burden, students can take simple steps to make their money last longer and actually grow it while they're going to school. Joining us now is Steve Orr. He is the author of The Noisemakers with some tips. Good to have you here, Steve.
Good to be here, Cindy.
I remember in college, the credit card companies would be in the hallways all ready to give you something for free, like a hat or a towel, and of course a credit card.
Oh, absolutely. And boy, kids are ready to take that thing. They're free. They're away from home. Let's go spend some money. Hit the bars, hit the restaurants. And you know, they come out of there and they're owing $20,000, $30,000, and they're behind the ball. The interest rate on those things and the fees are so outrageous, they'll never pay that debt off. So don't take the card.
Just don't
do it.
All right, resist the temptation.
And if you do have it, just have it for emergencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we all say. Yeah. I've got a few for emergencies myself, but they happen to fly out every now and then.
Yeah.
Okay, less fast food. You're asking a lot.
Well, I know, because it's a hectic life in school, but if you can just cook at home, go to the grocery store, try to live healthily. You know, it's not going to help your education and your brain power by eating at McDonald's every day. You can save a lot of money also.
You even say the $10 late night pizza, as tempting as that is, because kids are so busy and they're studying late, and it's just so easy to make that call. Yeah,
you can go down to the store and buy the sausage and the pizza mix and make it yourself for a couple of bucks, you know.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. You say save as much as you spend. How are you supposed to do that when you're going to college?
Well, you know, my kids figured that out. And what parents want to do is give your kids an allowance and say, that's all you're going to get. And once that's gone, you're on your own. And by the way, if you don't spend it all, you can invest this money, and that's what my kids did. They had extra money, and so they would invest it. And that money, they had money at the end of their college, because, you know, we could have cut their allowance, right? But we were teaching a lesson here. And so they invested that money, and they actually made a profit while they went to school.
Are kids able to, I mean, obviously, they're doing it all the time, have a part-time job, go to school full-time. Is it possible to save, really, while you're doing that?
Well, sure. Yeah, it is. You just have to make a commitment to do it. You know, here's where you start. You don't start at age 18 to teach your kids how to do this. We start at age 8. And, you know, you take your kids to Toys R Us or Walmart and say, you know, you can own Toys R Us. And they look at you with those big eyes and say, what do you mean, Daddy, I can own Toys R Us? So, well, you know, this is a stock company. It's a public company. You can buy their stock. And pretty soon my 8-year-old kids are dragging the newspaper over to me and say, Daddy, show me my stocks. You know, and so every time Grandma would give them some money for Christmas, they got extra money, they'd go buy something with it, and they would own Toys R Us and Walmart and all these big companies, and then graduate to mutual funds. And they did this in the 1990s, so they had tens of thousands of dollars by the time the 90s were over, and they buy in their own computers and stuff like that. Once you start a child on a habit of saving, they never stop because they see what it does for them. But if you wait till they're 18 or 20, they're probably never going to do it, because take a look in the mirror, folks. You know where you're at.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And I know there's a formula that you can figure out. If you get your kids started in the teens, by the time they're 35 or something, I think they're millionaires.
Yes, and actually, if you do this stuff for 35 years and just don't drink lattes, energy drinks, muffins, and cut your lunch thing, you can have $1.7 million. Well,
we like the sound of that. Steve Orr, author of The Noisemakers. Good to have you here. Thank you.
Good to be here, Cindy.
Lindsay, over to you.